In this video I will try to explain, really short, what defines a rifle scope as being rifle scope for hunting or a hunting rifle scope. We have a full category of scopes which are identified as hunting scopes, and we have a couple of these scopes here just to demonstrate which features are those features which define the purpose of a rifle scope to be meant for hunting. As you can see, we have different hunting scopes here for different types of hunt. We have a wide angle scope for driven hunts. Then we have a really light and slim, small 42mm scope for stalking. We also have a all-around scope, which is also works well at low light and has a traditional magnification range from 2.5 to 10, which is most oftenly used for hunting. Then we also have a fixed magnification, fixed power scope, which is meant almost exclusively for hunting in low light with a big objective lens and a fixed magnification 8x56. Then we have a hunting scope with a really high magnification which goes all the way to power 20. This scope is meant for long range hunting. So basically we could say that magnification in hunting scopes starts at 1, so no magnification at all, a real 1 for driven hunts, and ends somewhere between 15 and 20. This one is maybe exceptional because it has a 20 time magnification, but most of the hunting scopes end at magnification 15 or 16. We also have to consider that high magnification is an obstacle for a hunting scope in most cases. So in general, magnification for hunting scopes is lower. A typical magnification is like here 1.7 to 10 or 1.5 to 6, 2.5 to 10 and similar. The zoom factor in hunting scopes, it used to be 3 times, like 3 to 9x42 or similar. Then currently there is a standard of 10 time magnification, like 2.5 to 10. This is a prime example of 4 time zoom rifle scope for hunting. But in the last couple of years, ever since the Swarovski introduced 6 time zoom with their line of scopes called Z6, there is a common trend of higher and higher zoom factors, like 6, 6.3, it goes all the way from 1 to 6.3, and with the latest size V8, the zoom factor is almost 8. So there is a common trend that zoom factor grows. What is also a common trend is that the scopes with 4 times zoom factor or a fixed magnification scopes are brighter than scopes with a really big zoom factor. What is also in common to almost all hunting scopes are turrets which are capped with these small caps, also sealed against the elements, and very low. You can see it here. They are not meant to be manipulated often, but only maybe once a year when you zero the rifle to your ammunition, and then afterwards the turret is covered with a cap and left like this. So all hunting scopes, almost all hunting scopes, have a very similar low turrets with caps. There is also a new trend that some, still rare, hunting scopes have a special ballistic turrets like this one here, which are meant for long-range shooting. This is still not a common feature at hunting scopes. The common feature is still that they have turrets which are meant to be manipulated only rarely, on rare occasions. The clicks on the turrets are not really important on a hunting scope. Most European scopes have a click value of 1 centimeter per 100 meters. American scopes for hunting mostly have 1/4 of MOA, or 7 millimeters per 100 meters. Since you only zero a hunting scope once, this is not really an important feature. The second thing is the reticle position. It used to be very simple. A premium European scope always had a reticle in the first focal plane. But in the last couple of years, this is also not a feature important really anymore, since more and more modern European scopes have a second focal plane reticle. That means the reticle doesn't change when you change the magnification, and that also means that at high magnification settings, the reticle is really thin. It doesn't cover much of the target. In the first focal plane scopes like here, the reticle is really thick on higher magnification, and this has a positive side that when you're using such a scope in low light, even if it wouldn't be illuminated, you can still see the reticle because it's very thick. In the American and Japanese and other rifle scopes had second focal plane reticles from the start. It was not a common feature that they would have a first focal plane reticle like premium European scopes used to have. The reticle illumination, it's almost a must-have feature at the moment. More and more modern scopes are coming with a reticle illumination. You can see in this lineup, only one scope doesn't have the reticle illumination. This is this fixed power 8x56 Doctor. I took this scope on purpose. There is a version with illuminated reticle also available. But if you have a thick reticle, you don't really need illumination, since you can see it also in low light. I also think that the future trend is that every hunting scope will have illuminated reticle. Even though only European hunters do a lot of hunting in dusk and dawn, so in low light conditions, while in other parts of the world most of the hunting is done during the day. The reticle types are common, like Plex or German 4, German 1. German 1 is slowly getting away. It's not so common anymore, but German 4 still is. There is also a fashion of almost tactical reticles in the hunting rifle scopes, but they are not really usable. So a traditional hunting scope has a plain reticle like duplex or Plex reticle or a German 4 reticle. The parallax compensation, it's not really a common feature on rifle scopes meant for hunting, while on scopes which have a magnification higher than 12, it's becoming a common feature to have a parallax adjustment on a side focus like this one. In general, parallax is not really an important feature of a hunting rifle scope, and there is almost no hunting scope which would have an adjustable objective for parallax adjustment. Those who have parallax adjustment usually have it on a side focus, but still these are only hunting scopes with high magnifications. What also sets apart hunting scope from the others is the fact that many hunting scopes have a special rail for mounting. The common tube diameters are 1 inch and 30 millimeters, which are mounted with rings, but especially European producers like this Leica or Swarovski for many size scopes or Schmidt-Bender scopes and so on, doctor scopes, also offer their models with rail mounting. Rail mounting has many advantages and is basically the preferred way of mounting. And rail mounting is also found only at hunting rifle scopes, since there are no target or tactical scopes which would be produced with a rail mounting. So if I make a short summary, what defines a hunting scope? The first and the most common feature are low capped with a covered hunting turrets, low magnification range. The magnification doesn't exceed 16, or in many cases doesn't exceed 12. The additional common feature is also that the reticle is not really thin, so that it can be seen in the low light. The fourth feature, which is also very common, is that hunting scope have a fixed parallax value at 100 meters or 100 yards. It's not a common feature that they would offer adjustable parallax. And last but not least, many hunting scopes can be mounted with a rail. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that the idea which features are important for a hunting scope or for any rifle scope to be meant for hunting are now clear. But if you want to ask any additional question, please send us an email, use comments, or visit our webpage.